Hey, Jeff here, your YouTube reviewer of New England brews. Welcome back to NEBR, New England Beer Reviews, where I review beers from around New England, and particularly from my home state of New Hampshire, which is really booming these days thanks to changes in the law a few years ago, allowing for more nano breweries to get their licenses easier, distribute their product easier, and even sell their products at farmers market, which is actually where I picked this one up, which I'm doing today, which is from the Canterbury Aleworks of Canterbury, New Hampshire. And this is their DavESBeer. And notice the spelling on that. Small D-A-V, capital E-S-B, small E-E-R. So this is an ESB, one of my favorite traditional British styles. So Canterbury Aleworks DavESBeer comes in with an ABV of 5.7%. Canterbury Aleworks opened in July of 2012, and I've already reviewed a few of their brews in earlier editions of NEBR, and I'm going to keep reviewing them as I get them. He has 10 beers now available either on tap, and many of them are getting bottled, but his beers are primarily only located in 6 New Hampshire stores at this point. I hope he will be expanding sooner or later, but at the moment 6 stores sell his items, or at the Concord, New Hampshire Farmers Market, which is where I picked this one up. This is brewed with British malts and British hops. So let me get right into this beer and check it out. Okay, serving at about 45 degrees in that vicinity, I'm guessing. So let's pour it into this glass. Alright, there's the pour. Guess I can't put this up where you can see it, so I'll have to show it at the end. And looking at it, good ESB color. I'd say it's a darker amber. Even some slight reddish tones going on here. The head is rather small, and it doesn't seem to be lingering too long, but again, I gave it a rather gradual pour. I didn't pour it in quickly, so so the head would not really erupt like it can sometimes, but the color's nice. A little carbonation, slightly hazy. Well, yeah, just maybe about 10% hazy. Let's put it that way. Okay, let's check out the aroma on this baby. I love ESBs, and when I was talking to the brewer and owner and the one-man shop who operates Canterbury Aleworks, he said what he's striving for. This is an evolving beer. Each batch is slightly different, using the basic same recipe, because he's trying to emulate Fuller's ESB, which is one of the world's best ESBs out there. That's one of my favorites, I know that. So, but right off the bat, you're getting those kind of caramel and malt aromas, nice sweetness, and it really is it reminds me of the ESB from Fuller's. Or maybe he just put the thought in my head, but it does have that nice sweet caramel malt aroma that accompanies ESBs. Checking out the taste. Okay, the body is light to medium, actually kind of creamy. Texture's a little on the creamy side, light to medium, but the flavor is very, very nice. A very nice flavor. It begins sweet, the sweet and malty, caramel malts, toffee malts, and there's a low to moderate bitterness. Yeah, it just lingers a little bit at the end, not very long. Just to remind you, there's a bit of a bitterness at the end, so just a touch of bitterness, and it really then fades after a moment, making you want to have another one, another sip, that is. And I suppose another beer once the bottle is done. So, the bitterness lingers briefly, and then it's time for another sip, and you get that bitterness at the end again. It's just it's a very nice, drinkable, easy to drink beer in one of my favorite styles, and very traditional British style. The pub beers you get, things like that, and it's very well done. He's really moving toward the right direction. As I said, he was attempting to emulate, or I don't think he wants to taste exactly like Fuller's. You all want to have your own style, but he is trying to emulate the spirit of a Fuller's ESB. And I think in that regard he's very successful. His brewery it's a small one. As I mentioned at the outset, it's basically a one-man operation. It is a wood-fired process that uses a wood-fired cooking process and a water-powered brewery. So here's a guy that likes to use the natural resources when he's brewing his beer as well, using natural ingredients and natural resources. What could be better? I'm really liking that beer. Very enjoyable beer. I wish I'd picked up another one because I could probably drink another one very easily. So let me just finish this off and I'll give you the final verdict. Okay, I'm down to the last sip, and I'll tell you, it didn't take long to get there. I probably could have kept the camera running because I really just gulped it right down in a couple of quick gulps. So, because it's a beer that I find to be really tasty. Let's just finish this off. The lacing is just still there a little bit at the bottom. The head pretty much dissolved. Just the slightest of lacing around the bottom of the glass. But finishes well, finishes nice and bitter. I say low to moderate bitter, so it's not nice and bitter. That could be misconstrued to mean very bitter. But low to moderate bitterness, lingers briefly. A satisfying beer, I've got to say. I enjoyed this beer a lot, but I like the style. So, but sometimes when people try to emulate that style or copy that style, it's not, they don't always pull it off properly. It makes it too caramelly or too sweet or something. But this seemed really well balanced. So, Canterbury Aleworks, DavESBeer, DavESBeer. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again next time.